I take this opportunity to welcome you all to this session. This session is on preparation of liquidator's final statement of account. In this session, we shall solve one problem wherein there is a surplus available. You want to repay the liquidator holders. Let me go through the problem. Week Limited went into voluntary liquidation on 1st April 2020. The balance sheet of the company on this date was as follows. Liabilities, share capital, 12,000 10% preference shares of 10 each, 1,20,000, 20,000 equity shares of 10 each, 2 lakh, 5% debentures 60,000, creditors 1,03,000, other side assets, plant 2 lakh, stock 1,10,000, debtors 1.5 lakh, cash 3,000, profit and loss account 30,000. Total of the given balance sheet 4,83,000. It is given that preferred dividend was in arrears for 1 year. Remember here, on preferred dividend at 10%, it is given here on 1,20,000. 1,20,000 into 10% for 1 year means 12,000 dividend is on arrears. It has to be payable. It is said payable on liquidation. Along with this 1,20,000, another 12,000 will be paid to them. Plant and stock realized total 2 assets 2,75,000. Debtors worth rupees 25,000 were bad. It means debtors total amount in rupees 1,50,000, of which 25,000 bad, in the sense you have to deduct 25,000 and take the net 1,25,000. Cash as it is 3,000. So liquidate then. Creditors include rupees 5,000 preferential out of 1,03,000, 5,000 preferential creditors. Liquidation expenses 1,600. Liquidator remuneration was agreed 2% on assets realized. Amounts realized. Take it as assets realized except cash, and 2% on amount distributed to equity shareholders. Debenture holders are paid on 1st October 2020. So balance sheet on April 1st. So April, May, June, July, August, September, 6 month interest has to be included and paid together with the debenture amount. Prepare liquidator final statement of account. Here one more you have to add preferential sell creditors. Out of these 3,000, 5,000 preferential creditors. So it is 98,000. So now go through the solution. You are asked to prepare liquidator's final statement of account. Name of the company at the top center, or you can write in the books of Week Limited. Liquidator's final statement of account. It is an account. So debit on the left hand side and payment on the other side. See, now from the given balance sheet, cash as it is 3,000, which is realized form. Then it is said in the problem that plant and stock realizes 2,75,000. Debtors, if you want, you can put difference 1,50,000 debt, book debt, out of which 25,000 bad. So 1,25,000. Now the net total 3,75,000 plant and stock plus 1,20,000, it is 4 lakh. So total 4,03,000 amount is available for payment. There is no secured creditors, no legal charges. Then first one, liquidator's remuneration. They said that 2% on assets realized except cash. So it is only on 4 lakh, at 2% it is 8,000. Then later it said 2% amount distributed to equity shareholders, that you can calculate only at the end. Then liquidation expenses 1,600. Debenture holders, total payment to debenture holders, you see, debentures 60,000 at 5%. This is a 5% debenture, 5% for 6 months. That you calculate and provide. So now total amount payable to debenture holder towards debenture 60,000. Then interest outstanding on 60,000 at 5% for half year, it is 1,500. Total amount payable to debenture holders 61,500. 61,500. Then after payment to debenture holders, then preferential creditors. It is said that total creditors given in the problem that 1,03,000, of which 5,000 preferential creditors. So now 5,000 you pay to preference as a preference creditors, and balance if you want you can show here the difference. 1,03,000 minus 5,000 preferential out of that, so it is 98,000. 98,000. Then you have to keep calculating whether there is a surplus. Yeah, there is surplus left, and now pay to preference shareholders. As you know, preference shareholders must be paid before equity. In fact, if equity shareholders are partly paid, to pay preference shareholders fully, they have to bring in the difference call. The other, it was there in the other problem as call money or contributories. So now preference share capital 1,20,000, and there was arrears of dividend for 1 year at 10%. As you know, that 10% is given here in the problem. See this 10%, 10% preference shareholders. So 10% preference dividend on 1,20,000, that is preference capital on 1,20,000 for 1 year. So it is 12,000. Now 12,000 must be added to 1,20,000. Total amount payable to preference shareholders then will be 1,32,000. Now the whatever balance left must go to equity shareholders. So this calculation, first one, calculation of liquidator's remuneration, that is now see 2% on assets realized except cash, that is straight 8,000. 2% amount paid to equity shareholders. You see now amount available to equity, total amount available for payment 4,03,000, of which 2% remuneration assets realized 8,000, liquidation expense 1,600, debenture holders total payment 1,65,000, 1,65,000. Then preferential creditors to preferential creditors 5,000 payment, preferential creditors 5,000. Then 98,000 unsecured creditors, preference also unsecured, preference given separately. Then to preference shareholders 1,32,000. When you total it, it becomes 3,06,100. From 4,03,000, when you deduct 1,06,100, this is so far paid, right? The balance left 96,000. It is said that 2% on actual amount paid to equity shareholders. Hence, you have to take on this amount before balance before payment to them, before remuneration 2% on that. So 96,900 into by divided by 100 not 2. This is the usual formula, like amount available before such remuneration into rate of remuneration divided by 100 plus rate of remuneration. So total remuneration payable to them will be 9,900. Now when you total you will get a balance, or you can take like this also. To equity shareholders, it is to equity shareholders 96,900 minus 1,900. That is also okay. 96,900 minus 1,900 amounts to 95,000. This one, now after actual amount paid, now you can calculate on 95,000 at 2%. It will be exactly 1,900. That is for the checking purpose. So this is all about the solution of this problem on liquidation. This sort of problem will be asked usually in 12 marks, but for you sometimes it may be asked for 16 marks also. Thank you. All about this is all about the